With the continuous grilling of prospective jurors droning on inside the Bell County Courthouse, few observers and none of the participants in there are as willing now as they were on Monday when it all began to prophesy when the trial itself might finally get underway. In spite of the influx of newsmen, lawyers, and police officials from across the state, by and large, the people of Belton seem virtually unaware and almost totally unconcerned with what's going on here at the Bell County Courthouse. Jerry Taft, Channel 8 News on the Move, Belton.
We, the jury, having given to the four found the defendant was the same at the time of the offense charged in the indictment, and having found the defendant guilty of murder with malice is charged in indictment, assesses punishment as death. Signed Mr. J.R. Thompson, foreman. Gentlemen, you've heard me read the verdict here in open court. If that individual is your verdict, would you please raise your right hand? So say you all. Thank you. Please go back to the jury.
Right, we received an alarm at 10:55 that there was a high-pressure oil line had ruptured. And so we responded, and upon arrival, we found that oil under high pressure was going to the air at about 30 feet. And it was flowing at a high rate of gallons per minute, anywhere in the neighborhood of 500 to 700 gallons per minute, probably.
Was this butane or gas?
This
or
was
what?
Oil, crude oil. And the dozer was still in the area operating when we arrived. Of course, we got him out, and the first thing we did was to evacuate the immediate area. This being a radius about 2 miles. We had everyone to leave, shut off everything in their homes, all the air conditioners, hot water heaters, and what have you.
How many people did this involve?
This I don't really know. This is a sparsely settled area, and so I don't really know how many people this involved. But
what are your plans now? What are you doing?
Probably the one word that describes the kind of program that we have for the deaf child is quality. And I think that if you will go to other programs, you will find that their quality in some aspect of the problem is good and is probably in some cases exceptional, but that they do not have all of this broad concept which has been brought to bear on the deaf child.
Well, basically, we are second in costs at this time. Performance, of course, we think we're way out in front.
Have you figured, or have you pitched the regional airport on the difference in dollars being worth possibly the money staying in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Yes, we have. As a matter of fact, we were talking to the Dallas-Fort Worth group yesterday. Not only staying in the Fort Worth area, but the fact that we feel that the system is more cost-effective.
I understand you have 5 proposals to the airport board. What is the price range?
From around $19.9 to $28.9.
We're talking about millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars, yes, sir.
How long would it take Vought Aeronautics to put this system on the ground and working?
Well, we would have the complete system installed at the airport by the summer of '73.
But last year we, for the first time, took an ice-strengthened vessel into the Arctic waters where we had no icebreaker support, and we managed to shoot about 3,000 miles of seismic data. With a vessel, it was just strengthened for ice, and it wasn't an icebreaker per se. But this year, we felt that our operations were so successful last year that this year we plan to put 2 vessels up there, and we certainly have a program of approximately 6,000 miles to shoot this year.
This will be up into the ice country.
Yes, this will be in the ice country, and our vessel is capable of breaking ice up to 3 feet thick. Each vessel will have a helicopter on board which will fly ahead to establish what the ice conditions are so that we don't get ourselves into serious trouble in thick-packed ice. Britons can get up to very strong proportions. And last year, the vessel, this would be in an area just south of Melville Island, did encounter some very, very high winds, certainly gale force winds. But what we did, we set the vessel into pack ice and just rode the storm out, and it was quite comfortable sitting in the pack ice.
This is Aware 71, where high school girls from all over the country are learning to cope with problems that will face them in later life. It's sponsored by the Campfire Girls, the Horizon Club's division, and it's hosted by North Texas State University. Here, the girls learn to face situations ranging from school problems and interpersonal relations, all the way to drugs and women's liberation, and more, learning how to relate their own lives to these problems. It's an audio-visual experience, with each girl going around to various small screening booths and facing problems and anticipating how she would react in those problems. I asked the Horizon Club's Director of Program Development, Mrs. Gwen Harper, to explain why the concept of this situation.
We hope that high school girls at this conference and at the conferences that they'll have when they get home will have a little practice in making up their own decisions, determining their own alternatives to choices around the problems that face them today and that will face them all the rest of their lives.
So far, the girls know they're impressed with the program, but not many of them are able to say why exactly.
I think that here we're getting our principles tested, whether or not you have a good set of principles, and it's a real good test for you, I think.
But is it going to help you in solving the problems that are going to face you?
Yes, I think so. Since I've come here, I've learned how to communicate with people that I couldn't do before, and today I've learned how to cope with some of the problems that I couldn't understand before. I've learned more about them.
Aware 71 is one of 3 such seminars held across the country this year. When the girls leave here on Saturday and Sunday, they may not know how to solve problems that will be facing them in their future, but they'll at least know that these problems exist. Jay Lewis, Channel 8 News on the Move, North Texas State University.
The temple area is the first thing we've seen, which includes that area where Jesus came as a child and where he chased the money changers from the temple. The next was the temple proper, and then behind me, the Wailing Wall, the west wall of the temple, that temple which Solomon built, which was destroyed in so many ways, but which those of the Jewish faith believe has had this wall left for the future. And as I stand here before the famous landmark, the Tower of David, representing the Old Jerusalem, before me lies King David Hotel, which is the representation of the New Jerusalem, and I stand on that spot which almost was the exact dividing line between the Old Jerusalem and the New Jerusalem during the Six-Day War recently. This is Bob Gooding for Channel 8 News on the Move.